What's up everybody? Following the latest new hero reveal, the next big thing we have to look forward to is the immensely anticipated story-based Overwatch event, Archives 2019. So to get ready for this new event, in today's video I'm going to be running through all the important details regarding the event's start date, new skins we can expect, and much more. This is Master Ian Gamer, and let's get into it. As always when talking about new upcoming events, let's start with the start date. Now so far I've seen a lot of people getting hyped for Archives who seem to be overestimating just how close it is. Yes, it's going to be the next event, but that doesn't change the fact that it's always been an April event, and thus will almost certainly be in April again. There's no reason to suspect that it'll be any earlier, aside from the strange release of Paris, which was most likely the result of internal complications at Blizzard as opposed to any intentional schedule change. They have been sticking to the typical content release cycle so far for 2019, which means that Archives is going to be in April. As for the exact start date of the event though, Blizzard hasn't made any official statements so far on the matter, but just like every other event for which I've been able to accurately predict the start date ahead of time, looking at the 2017 and 2018 Archives event start dates should tell us more than enough. As we can see, the previous two Archives events started on April 11th and April 10th, thus placing them both on the Tuesday of the second week in April. In keeping with this trend, we can expect Archives 2019 to be during the second week once again, starting on either April 9th or 11th, since events always start on either a Tuesday or Thursday. My guess is that it'll be the 9th, since that way it won't spill over into the month of May, and thus keep it just a little bit more spaced out from the 2019 anniversary event which follows it. Additionally, as per usual, we can expect to start seeing official teasers and skin reveals about a week prior, and there may also be some kind of extra promotional build-up like what we saw last year. We could very well see teasers during Overwatch League matches, likely as part of Blizzard kicking off Stage 2, which will be starting on April 4th. But having covered now when we can expect the event to be starting, now let's focus on the skins. Who will be getting one this time around? Well, as usual, let's take a look at the skins chart to get an idea for who's statistically most in need of something new. When taking into account total number of event legendaries, time since last legendary, and whether or not they've had a legendary in a previous Archives event, right off the bat, one hero in particular stands out, and that's Genji. While it's true that he got a legendary as part of the All-Star Weekend, that skin isn't counted since it required spending Overwatch League tokens in order to purchase, and as far as we know won't be coming back in the future. This chart tracks items which can be obtained out of loot boxes either year-round or during repeated events. Also, while it is true that Genji got an Archives skin back in 2017, we've seen multiple instances at this point where heroes get multiple skins for the same event. Therefore, Genji still by far has the highest statistical chance of getting something new, but who else stands out as likely candidates? The other four outstanding heroes are Orisa, Bastion, Ana, and Brigitte. They all have gone significant lengths of time without getting a legendary, have an overall low number in total, and with the exception of Orisa, haven't had a legendary from this specific event yet. Beyond them, the other heroes I'd say are kinda likely, at least more so than the rest, are Ashe, Pharah, and Soldier 76, predominantly due to the same factors used to calculate the others. On top of these though, I'm also going to give my predictions for who will be getting epic skins this time around, based on who hasn't gotten an epic skin recently, or in some cases, ever, and additionally have gone at least a few events since their last legendary. We get D.Va, Roadhog, Winston, and Doomfist. Now, D.Va's case is a little different since she did get one as part of the Nanocola challenge, but since we don't know if these mini-event skins will ever be returning, I'm hesitant to count them. I've listed them in their own extra column for now, but I may change how I classify them later on down the line. So in total, these are my predictions for who's most likely to get skins and what kind. Given that the predominant trend in year 3 of Overwatch has been for each event to have 6 legendary skins and 3 epics, we certainly won't see every single one of these heroes get a skin, but they all have the best odds statistically. It's also entirely possible for a hero I haven't marked here to get an epic or legendary, so if I did didn't mention your favorite hero, then there may still be hope. Unless, of course, your favorite hero is Zarya, Mei, or Torbjorn. These skin hogs already have 6 legendaries, so probably don't keep your fingers crossed for them. Beyond skins, we can also expect the usual 3 total emotes and highlight intros, along with about 6 victory poses, some new player icons with at least 1 for each of the new legendary skins, and a handful of voice lines for various heroes. Wrecking Ball, Ashe, and Batiste are all guaranteed to get new voice lines, as well as sprays, since this will be their first time as part of the Archives event. Moving on though from the cosmetic items, let's talk about the new game mode and the overall story of this year's Archives event. So far, Blizzard has been fairly tight-lipped about the upcoming event. However, Jeff Kaplan did go on record at this past BlizzCon saying that they have big plans for Archives 2019. What exactly he means by this is a little unclear, but there's a lot of room to deduce what may be coming with this next event. First and foremost, it's basically inevitable that at the very least we'll be getting the Uprising and Retribution PvE modes returning for us to play. So if you're new to Overwatch and this is your first time playing the Archives event, you're in for quite a treat. However, in addition to the returning game modes, it's incredibly likely that there will be a new PvE mission as well. Once again, I expect that it'll feature 4 heroes progressing through a level where you have to defeat waves of AI enemies in a Left 4 Dead style mission. But in what ways exactly will it be different from the missions we've already had in the past? Uprising featured Overwatch agents progressing through King's Row while fighting Null Sector Omnics, and Retribution featured Blackwatch agents fighting their way through hordes of Talon soldiers on Rialto. So what exactly can we expect for Archives 2019? Well, I'm pretty thoroughly convinced that this year's mission spotlight will be on Talon. It's the next logical step after having done Overwatch and Blackwatch, and having a mission from Talon's point of view could present a whole new story perspective on the Overwatch world and the factions within it. Maybe we learn that Talon isn't so definitively the bad guys in all this, and Blizzard goes so far as to break the black and white faction stereotypes that Overwatch and Talon have been presented as thus far. Maybe that's expecting a little too much, but if nothing else, it would allow us to play as some unique heroes. So far, between Uprising and Retribution, both missions had completely unique hero casts, and this trend could be perpetuated in a Talon-focused mission. Depending on when exactly the archived mission takes place in the Overwatch timeline, it could feature Doomfist, Sombra, Widowmaker, and the new hero Batiste as the 4 playable Talon members. They might not be the most coherent selection of heroes to work together from a gameplay perspective, but they should work for story purposes. In fact, the mission itself may even be designed in such a way as to make use of their individual hero kits and abilities. For example, Sombra might be able to hack certain objectives, or Doomfist's unique fighting style may be ideal for dealing with new types of enemy units. And speaking of the mission itself, what's it going to be this time, and who's going to be the enemy? It wouldn't make sense for Talon to be fighting hordes of their own soldiers, or even Null Sector really, given that both factions seem to have similar points of view, which means that there will need to be a new opponent introduced in this mission. This will largely depend on the setting and objective of the mission, which again offers us significant room for speculation. The first idea which will likely come to people's minds is the recent Paris map, and more specifically, the rumored Paris ARG. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this theoretical ARG, I'll include a link to my video covering it in the cards on screen, so I recommend you check that out after watching this video. In short, there may be something secretive going down on the Overwatch Paris map, or there may not be, hence why I refer to it as a theoretical ARG. We know that there is tensions in Paris between humans and Omnics, similar to what's in King's Row. However, at this point in time, we don't have a clear enough image of how things were in Paris before present day, so it's difficult to say for sure whether there was ever even any sort of past conflict on par with what we saw in the King's Row uprising, or even the Venice incident. While Paris seems like a prime candidate for this year's Archives mission, it could very easily be somewhere else entirely. We could even see something similar to what they did with Rialto and Retribution, where they introduced a new map as part of the event that later went on to get added as a standard map into the game. I actually find this possibility to be very likely, as not only have they done it before, but it gives them room to essentially come up with whatever mission idea they want without being restricted to pre-existing map locations. If this is the case and Blizzard decided to just make a new map to fit their story needs, this also means that they could theoretically introduce whoever they want as the enemy too. They could do what they did for Uprising and just introduce a previously unheard of faction as the enemy, or they may end up crafting the new map to thematically fit whatever kind of opposition they want to have this time around. For example, one faction which I think would make for perfect fodder would be Helix Securities. We don't know a whole lot about this private security firm, but they have popped up a few times throughout the story, so it could be interesting to get a focus on them as the enemies which Talon is trying to fight on the mission. Perhaps the map itself would even be some kind of Helix security facility, and Talon's mission is to extract some kind of data or something from within. A mission like this would score a lot of points in my book, as it could expand more on what we know about both Talon and Helix, plus give us a unique new map location based around one of the game's lesser explored organizations. There's honestly a lot which could be speculated about regarding this year's Archives PvE mission, and I'll probably be making some more follow-up videos in the near future where I explore more story possibilities for the various Overwatch universe characters and factions. But aside from that, the one video I'll for sure be making after this is my 2019 Archives skin ideas video. I've already got a lot of ideas for what kinds of cosmetics we may be getting this time around, but of course I'd still love to hear what you all want in terms of event skins, so feel free to leave your ideas for that in the comments down below. Be sure to stay tuned for that video coming soon, and if there's any new information revealed regarding the upcoming Archives event, I'll be sure to keep you all up to date. So make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit up the bell to not miss any of my future Overwatch content. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and share it with a friend if you really liked it. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, the best event of the year is right around the corner, so have a great day.